And same as, say you grow up in a family where there's a certain level of violence, so your whole body gets wired. I mean, it's cool, really, whatever your body's doing, it's always trying to help you. It doesn't always know, how to figure it out, but it's doing the best it can. So if you're in situations, or your generation has grown up with a lot of violence, you've seen it on TV, you've seen it everywhere, you think you're cool with it, but it still goes into your body and has this impact that stresses your body. So, and if you're in a household where there's a level of violence, your body has programmed itself to be very vigilant. You're on the watch. So, say you're walking along the street and somebody bumps into you, and you're used to being picked on or seeing violence, whatever, and so you're going to you might not literally put your dukes out as, what's your problem with you a-hole, can't you watch me, blah, 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 blah. And you're in this state, right? And the person who's bumped into you, they walked off, and they're left with a bit of that state too, right? Some of that's gotten onto them. It's like, oh, and they're probably going, what's the matter with that idiot? And then there's two people coming instead of, say you don't have that level of violence and you're used to a different level of interaction. Someone bumps into you on the street and you say, hey, sorry, buddy. Yeah, sorry about that. I was watching. And off they go. And yeah, that's okay. So the same interaction is having a very different kind of effect. So it's really important when you're in these different situations for you guys to start to have some awareness of that. And because you're going to work in a field with young people, the more you know about yourself and the more you can clear some of those patterns from your own body, the better impact that will be for the young people. Because not only young people are very sensitive. If you come in and you have a smile on your face but you're full of anger and bitterness, kids feel that. And it's not like you can't. I mean, of course you're going to have days where you feel like that. But the amount that gets dumped onto other people is often, there's a relationship between how aware you are. If you're very aware that you've come in with a lot of stuff today, and if something does trigger you and you know you're in that space, you know enough to let go and back off and say, you know what, I don't think I'm going to handle this very well. Whereas if you're just coming in, you're not very aware, and all of a sudden it's like you've done this little shriek at a kid. It's like, oh. So, but that will never happen. I'm just saying that when you increase your level of awareness of how you function. So the same as, when you're learning how to use a certain program on the computer, right? You're learning this is the button you press, this is the thing you do. We don't always think of our emotions in that sense, but you can. There is a piece of our emotional being that you can start to understand in that way. If I push this button, this is what will happen. And if I don't want this to happen, these are the steps that I can take. So things like anger, when I was saying that, your body's always trying to do the best it can. Theoretically, they say when you're angry, you build an acid environment inside you. When I hear that, and then I test that experientially in my own mind, it's like, yeah, that's what it feels like. When I'm angry, I feel acid inside. I feel heat. I feel burning. I feel like things are being, holes are being burnt in places. I don't know what anger does to you, but it's like that. And so what your body will do is start to lay down fat along the inner lining of your blood pathways. Long term, that's going to be cholesterol buildup. And you think, why would my body want to build up cholesterol and block my pathways so that I can't get oxygen? But what it's trying to do is protect you from that acid blood so it doesn't burn holes in your blood vessels. So it is always trying to help you. And if you can be aware, then I'm going to start to talk to you about what are some things that you can do with your emotions to help prevent some of that long-term effect and even some of the unpleasant short-term stuff. So one of the things about very intense emotions is that we tend to not like them and we want to put them away somewhere. If you can tell yourself, and again this is theory, that emotion is like a wave, and in my experience it feels like that. Like sometimes if I'm really afraid in a situation, I can feel it coming at me. I can feel the fear coming like a wave. And it's like, when you want to hold it back, what happens is, so here comes the fear, and I want to hold it back. So what's happening is the fear is getting stuck inside me. Whereas if I go, okay, here comes the fear, I know what to do. Okay, breathe, stay relaxed, no blockages, moved, passed on. It will come back unless then when I'm in a calmer state and I'm not in my state of terror, my mind is more relaxed and open to deal with the situation. It can think more clearly, it can be creative in its problem solving. But just letting it calm, and telling yourself it is going to move through. If I can just stay in a relaxed place, because as soon as you tense up, whatever that emotion is, can't move. So that's a really, really basic, when you feel an intense emotion and you have the sense that you're going to try and resist it, and someone says let go, you might think sometimes, what does that mean? What it means to me, in my experimentation, is this thing. To get as relaxed as I can. And that's a very difficult thing to do in the midst of a tense situation, so it's really good to practice that every day for little things, like I woke up late and I missed a class. Tension. Nothing I can do about it. I'm going to compound the difficulty by showing up with a tense mind and a tense body that can't hear anything that's being said to me anyway. So as soon as you feel a level of tension, letting it go in that moment. Because if you feel a level of tension and just kind of put it away and move on into the next moment, then you get a little bit more and you try and put it away and you move into the next moment, and then you put that away and you put that away and you put that away, and then sometimes you think, okay, why did I blow my top over the fact that I can't get the lid off the pickle jar? This is not a crisis in my life. I'm behaving as if, somebody just came into my house and took my pet dog. Do you ever have that happen where you just kind of go out and you go, yeah, I lost it. What's that about? So, yes. And that is going to impact your health, like you probably know. The sleeplessness. When you're sleepless, you can't think straight. You tend to snap at your friends more easily. And you might lose your appetite, or you might want to just stuff stuff in your face all the time to kind of, I don't want to feel like this, I'll just stuff myself, and then I'll feel stuffed instead of feeling frightened. Feeling stuffed and feeling frightened, most people would choose stuffed. Or feeling starving. I'm just, I'm not going to eat, and I'm nauseated all the time, but I'm just, like, I'm not going to eat anything, and then you can focus on that feeling instead of,